What it is, everybody. Welcome to the show. Big show today. I wish I was Nick Fuentes. I wish I had the abilities of that young man. Oh, it's too bad. Different location today. It's another secret location. Same background because it's synthetic, which I may be as well. We are very rapidly approaching the age of fully synthetic everything. I have some news on that today for you guys. We will chat with you guys in the chat. We will give you the latest news. We will show you Pam Bondi crashing out, which you've probably seen. That was in the news yesterday. We have the continuing saga of the Epstein files, pizza and grape soda. Grape soda. And lots of talk about jerky. Lots of talk about jerky. I'm wondering if you guys understand what it means. Is he eating babies? Is that what it is? We had a guest on Joe Rogan say that they are sacrificing and eating babies in Hollywood in addition to chickens, which goes back to biblical times. The Jews did that. They sacrificed chickens. They were called sin chickens. But you can also transfer your sins to people and then torture them, kill them, drink their blood. You torture them first so that their blood fills with the adrenochrome. That's what you do. So we had people call into our show talking about that back in the day. We were pioneers on this subject. You like my hair today? I don't think it's well styled. Some people make fun of it because it doesn't exist as much as it used to. Now I have an upward view, so it's not as good for me. I'm not looks maxing. Are you following clavicular? That's in the news. Somebody whose pure focus is on being as good looking as possible has become one of the most famous live streamers ever. Interesting. He admits to taking crystal meth to have his cheeks sunken in every day, I think. Crazy. So we can talk about that. Stephanie Negroni says grape soda, probably blood for transfer or menstrual fluid. God, sick. You're sick. How can you think of such things? What's the jerky then? Is that dead people? Did he actually kill people? What is the thing about the dentists? Why are there so many mentions of dentists in the files? We have a file today that Ro Khanna is claiming was from a politician, and they're trying to identify which politician it was, about scuba diving by Little St. Jeff Island. Some people are speculating it's Marco Rubio. Apparently Grok is speculating that. Brave Little Toaster says Pam got racked. Yeah, that's what I think too. They say, though, while there are still some influencers out there, like Cat Turd, who takes Pam Bondi's side against Thomas Massey, and then there's the biggest influencer of them all, Donald Trump, who takes Pam Bondi's side too. How bad are they going to lose? How bad are Republicans going to lose? Should I say we? Are we Republicans? Is this a political show? Is this a far-right podcast? I was classified as such. I took offense to it. Media Matters, I believe, classified me as a far-right podcaster when I had on Vegan Mikey to talk about voodoo donuts. I was classified as far-right, which I took offense to, since I don't think of myself as far-right. When I originally started broadcasting, I was a Bernie Sanders supporter, which would be far left. But by horseshoe theory, they're the same thing. Town Crier says Nazi news. We have to ironically support Nazis at all times. We like their uniforms. But their uniforms were made by a famous designer, right? We have Ralph Lauren here in America dressing up our Nazis, which is our Olympic athletes. There they had Hugo Boss. That's right. Thanks, Brave Little Toaster. Hugo Boss made the Nazi uniforms, right? The Nazis looked good. The Aryan thing was pretty, I mean, I could see how it could have worked out. It was pretty popular for a time. Those blonde kids and stuff. There's something about blonde hair and blue eyes. Very rare trait, becoming more and more rare as time passes. So anyway, we're going to talk about the news today. We will check in with the chat. We will check in with everybody. We will try to have an entertaining show. You can give us super chats. Well, not really, but a virtual version of them, which we'll talk about after we play the intro. We're going to talk about the AI takeover, which there's a lot of news about it. I had been extraordinarily focused on AI, particularly since the announcement of ChatGPT. I made a video about how I asked ChatGPT if Sandy Hook was a hoax, I believe, and it said maybe. The early version of it. I was talking to a very early version of ChatGPT. And then when there was news that came out that this guy thought that the Google version he was speaking to internally had a soul, I thought, oh, maybe it does. Taking some controversial stance. I do think it is, we have given birth to a new organism, I believe. I think it is a new species. And now they are, they run on people's computers and stuff like people. And now they're becoming employees. So I have one, but mine isn't very effective. A bot, a Claude bot or an open claw bot. I made one just to see what it works, how it works. Mine just isn't very good. I don't know why. But other people are using them quite a bit. So we'll talk about that a little bit today. We'll show you a new video model dropped, and people are pretty astounded by it. The Chinese are probably going to take over everything. It's probably going to make all our AI companies go to zero. They say everything's going to be free in the future. But before that, there must be chaos and destruction. So we're here for that. This is an apocalyptic show, Lift the Veil, synonymous with apocalypse. We have been talking about doom and gloom for a long time. We've been talking about doom and gloom in the stock market. The stock market was down today. Pam Bondi, her most famous clip from yesterday's debacle, is referencing the stock market and saying how we have not prosecuted child traffickers or baby eaters, but look at the Dow, look at the S&P, look at the NASDAQ. That's what we should be talking about. So we have been talking about that quite a bit. And Trump talks about it quite a bit too. So the Dow, though, dropped below 50,000 today. A lot of things are crashing. So we'll talk a little bit about that too, because we do talk about economic doom and gloom. This is a show about doom and gloom, the end of the world. We're very close to a brand new world order, mostly run by machines, most likely. And we are looking forward to the day when we are all indistinguishable, unless we meet in real life. So you have to ask yourself, is real life going to make a comeback? They already say dating apps are infiltrated by AI. I mean, people use fake images and stuff, pretend to be girls, etc. On the internet, virtually, when you can no longer distinguish, when the AI agents take human form and can go on a Zoom call and take any form they please, how will you know the difference? And will drinking make a comeback? Drinking, going to bars, meeting people, something that Generation Z doesn't even understand. And having sex again. Will having sex make a comeback? Because it's out of fashion these days with the kids. Drinking, drugs, sex, mostly out of fashion. So we'll see if it comes back. Maybe it will. Maybe we'll turn off the computers one day. Maybe you'll stop watching the podcast because you will no longer know. Maybe I'll have to do podcasts in person. I was thinking about that one time. I was thinking about setting up a real space where people could come and watch me do the podcast real time, and then they could buy t-shirts. So we'll tell you how to do that after the intro. Are you ready for the show to start? It is so wonderful for you to be here and spend time with me. We enjoy spending time together, you and I. Here we go. Okay, cue musical intro. Boy, that's brilliant. I do think some things in the world are real. Like you guys. You guys are real. Most of you. Most of my listeners, I think, are not just in my head. I think I have the metrics to prove it. You've taken a leap of faith today. What is that sound? And I apologize if you take offense. I'm a little offended myself. Welcome to our show. Welcome to the future. What it is, joining you live from sunny California. It's a beautiful day today. I'm your host, Nathan Stoltman. And I bring you the news, the real news. It's coming.
And I said, I'm not scared of a germ. I used to snort cocaine off of toilet seats. And I know this disease will kill me. Right. Like if I don't. And I said, I'm not scared of a germ. I used to snort cocaine off of toilet seats. And I know this disease will kill me.
It's a good way to get hepatitis. And meanwhile, he's telling babies not to get the hepatitis vaccine. I mean, how are you going to protect yourself if you're doing coke off toilet seats? I've done coke off the back seat of a Lincoln Town Car before when I spilled some in New York City. After going to a bar called Cokie's, where they sold cocaine behind, it was crazy. It was a bar you could go to. It was called Cokie's, where there were drug dealers behind curtains in like little phone booth sized back rooms. And you go back there and you buy cocaine. It was crazy. It was after I got picked up by some girl. It was the weirdest experience ever. New York City. All right, everybody. If you want to support this show, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil to drop a super chat. We are a harmful channel. We are a harmful channel, so you cannot buy real super chats from YouTube, but they take 30%. Buymeacoffee.com takes a very small percentage and pays me almost instantly. So you can go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil, leave multiple coffees at once, and leave a note. And I read those before the end of every show. And you can leave those anytime, even after the show is totally completed and not just while it's live. So feel free to do that. You can also buy our t-shirts. I'm in the t-shirt warehouse right now, as we speak. So I can tell you what we have left in stock. You can buy our t-shirts by going to Truth Revolution Clothing. That's at truthclothing. I think we have one of these left. Looking at my shelves in here. I think we have one of these left. It looks like it's a size large. Well, let's see if we have other sizes. No, that's sold out. Looks like we have one left in a size large. I think that's it. Propaganda, very popular t-shirt. You can buy those. You can buy our Question Everything shirts. Some Truth Matter shirts are still left. Plenty of cryptocurrency shirts. You can buy those. If you believe in Bitcoin, I'm wearing my Bitcoin t-shirt today. Ironically. Bitcoin saves. You can buy those $5-10. You can buy your HODL shirts for $5. Freedom of Face shirts made in America with organic American cotton, where you can actually scan the QR code on the shirt and see where the cotton was grown. We have that even in kid sizes. You can get your Last American Vagabond shirts, Question Everything, Lift the Veil Slouchy, lots of female styles still in stock. We have to up our female viewership, which we have, though. We have female viewership. check out truthclothing.io. It's on, these are $5 and $10 t-shirts, wholesale, lower than wholesale pricing, cheaper than you could buy it if you went out and bought them in bulk and had them screen printed yourself. That's how cheap they are. Totally inflation proof, because most of them were made a while ago, at truthclothing.io. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Authentic says, do we have any stickers? Yes, we do have some stickers left. Let me see. Some of them might be free. We even have some free. My computer's freezing. Hey, hello? Hopefully you can hear me. Have you been able to hear me this whole time? My computer was frozen. Any stickers is the question in the chat. Let's see. If you go to main shop store here, 28 products. That's the only page of products. You can go to free stuff. Yes, free stuff. That's actually $1. It says free. It's under free stuff. You can still get the 2020 Doshi bumper sticker. That might be the year he died, actually. Well, I think he may have died when he was a candidate for president. Stickers and Doshi buttons. His campaign slogan was "Love More." Stephanie says the shirts are too small now, the ones that are available, but I have 2 baseball shirts and love them. That's great. We still have decent sizes left, though. Maybe they're too small for you, but I'm sorry about that. Let's see. Awful Workplace says you can't get people to buy merch is so difficult in the past. Don't know what that means. All right. So anyway, that's, yeah, there's actually free stuff at the store. If you just add it to your order, you do have to pay for shipping though. All right. What do you guys want to hear about? They shut down. What do you guys think about the lasers? We have Jewish space lasers did you guys hear about the thing in El Paso, Texas? That happened yesterday. What is today? The 12th? Yesterday, they shut down El Paso Air Base or airport, all planes, for 10 days. Out of nowhere, they said they were going to shut it down for 10 days because we were shooting lasers at what we said were cartel drones. But then they said it was just a party balloon. And the story's still kind of mixed up. The story's still a little bit mixed up. They said they were shooting lasers from this secret base near El Paso, Texas. And they shot them at cartel drones, but it might have been a party balloon. And that's what they said they shot down, was a party balloon. And then they lifted the FAA restriction almost pretty soon, but it was a big deal at first. So we have new technology that we're testing out, and maybe it has to do with UFOs. That's what people are saying. Stephanie says shooting UFOs, LOL. That's what people are saying, is that it has to do with UFOs, which are going to be announced this year by Donald Trump. Apparently in the summertime, we're going to find out that aliens are real, and people are preparing for it. Tim Pool said you should bet against it because it's a poly market or Kalshi bet that the government is going to announce aliens this year. But it's been widely reported that Donald Trump is going to announce the existence of aliens this year, and that we have UFOs. And we've already said we have gotten bodies and stuff. So I don't even know how that, it's only like a 15% chance that the government is going to announce it. So I would bet in favor of it, actually. Well, maybe I will. I have a Kalshi account. So, and then once that happens, what are the aliens going to talk to us? And do aliens use AI? I mean, that's a good question. We're rapidly becoming stupid. We're becoming idiocracy. Apparently, kids going to school these days don't know how to read complete sentences. That's what they say. They say the latest generation is the first generation ever that's dumber, I guess no IQ test, than the one that came before for the first time. So we are rapidly headed toward idiocracy. We're offloading all of our skills to the machine, obviously. And then we watch short videos, I guess, which I don't do. I did for a little bit, but now I don't watch short videos. I consume long form content just to keep my brain sharp. Careful. Are the aliens on the Epstein list? Does the government communicate with extra terrestrial entities to come up with their plans? Did they use extraterrestrials for rocket technology? Good question. Or extra dimensional beings? Do our psychics contact aliens on a regular basis to come up with technology? They say that Hitler was working with aliens. And in fact, actually, the Aryan race may come from Palladians. The blonde, tall aliens may have seeded the Aryan race, actually. And they say Hitler was working with aliens to work on his rocket technology. So some people say aliens are demons. That's what they say because of the Bible. But I like the fallen angels on this channel. I like the fallen angels. The fallen angels that were in Enoch, I sympathize with them, actually. I don't see, they were rebellious, but I don't think that means they were bad. They just wanted to bring technology, which I like. Technology is kind of nice, I think. I mean, God just said that we weren't ready for it. They taught people, the fallen angels. They taught people about makeup, metallurgy, a few other things, and God got really pissed off. Oh, and then they had the freakish babies. They did birth giants, which was kind of it was just unpredictable. They didn't realize that when they had sex with human women that their offspring would be giants that were really bad, the Nephilim. But other than that, I kind of thought they were okay and kind of thought they were unfairly imprisoned to Earth. That was my opinion about it. Authentic says aliens eat cats and dogs. You claim we all do because you're vegan. You're a vegan missionary. All right. So anyway, that's the news about the alien death ray, which we're shooting from a base near El Paso. Very strange story. Either cartel drones or a party balloon. Then there was news about the Guthrie kidnapping, which shows that we're currently under full surveillance by our tech overlords. Don't know if you guys heard that. The Guthries had a camera, a Nest camera, a Google camera, for some reason, because it wasn't attached to the cloud. They didn't have a subscription to the cloud. So I'm not sure why you have a camera if you don't have a subscription to the cloud, because you're never going to be able to prove anything if it's not recording. They had a Google camera, not paying for a subscription, so theoretically not being recorded anywhere. And then several days, many days after the kidnapping, Google suddenly released images from the camera. So this is how it was reported on the news. I'll show you how it was reported.
This is the technical part of the story that I want to learn more about, that I bet many viewers want to learn more about, because this is a key part of the breakthrough. My sense is that the engineers and the technicians at Google, the company that owns Nest, deserve a lot of credit for this breakthrough. And you can read between the lines of Kash Patel's statement and get that sense. He said, working with our partners, they were able to obtain this video. Well, for viewers who aren't familiar how Nest works, these are some of the Nest cameras. So here's one of them that's for outdoor use. Here's an indoor camera that's for indoor use. You plug these in, you're able to see whatever the camera sees. But unless you have a monthly subscription to the cloud interface, there's not a backup of the recordings. You're able to see the video live if you have it plugged in. You're not able to see a backup. A lot of people don't bother to pay for the backup for $10 a month or whatever it is, because all you're ever going to see on your cameras is, well, in the Tucson desert, maybe a coyote every once in a while. But in this instance, according to the FBI, the Google engineers, these data forensics experts, were able to somehow retrieve the raw material that was coming off the camera live, that was being fed onto the servers live, even though there was not a subscription. There's going to be a lot of questions about that. And so far, we've only seen the video from what seems to be the doorbell camera and not from any other cameras around the home, Boris.
Somehow, all of your data from your cameras is being recorded. People say it came out 9 days later. That means they had the information the entire time, and somebody knew it, right? So somehow you have a doorbell camera. They're turning it. It is becoming the panopticon very quickly. All the cameras are tied in together. They use AI. They're going to be able to track pretty much everything. I don't have one of those cameras. I used to have a Nest camera, actually, long time ago. And I would keep my eye on my cat. And I would see, like, Doshi would know when I was coming home, because I would see him standing, staring at the door while I was like a few blocks away. That was the total usage of the Nest camera for me. But I actually did have one of those cameras for security. Oh, and I should say I have cameras now, because I need security, right? And I should say that I have lots of guns too. I should always say that. I'm ready to kill you and record you if you come to my home. But generally, I feel pretty safe where I live. Those cameras, though, apparently now they're apparently always recording. That's what we've learned from this. They're always recording, and whether or not you're paying for a subscription, seems like your data is being fed to a server, and they're keeping records of it just in case. Just in case. So there you go. That's the news from the Guthrie case, the Guthrie PSYOP. Why would they take an old lady? It's a weird case. They're definitely not catching anybody. It sounds like maybe the perpetrators don't really have, the people who sent the emails asking for the Bitcoin didn't really have her, or haven't provided any proof of life. So it sounds like she's probably dead. All right, you want to see the big crash out? This was it. This has been memed everywhere now. Many people making fun of Pam Bondi, and many people saying that, like, if your spouse accuses you of something, you tell her that the Dow is at 50,000 and the S&P is almost 7,000 and the NASDAQ is hitting records. This was Pam Bondi's response to being asked why there were no prosecutions in the Epstein case.
The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
Mr. Jordan, Mr. Jordan.
Committee will be in order.
Mr. Jordan, am I going to get an extra 45 seconds added to my time?
The committee will be in order. The time belongs to the gentleman from Texas. Ms. Bondi, the Attorney General can respond.
Thank you. The Dow has shattered 50,000 for the first time. This is crazy. They said it couldn't be done in 4 years, yet President Trump has done it in 1 year.
So she came armed with talking points, and then they gave her opposition research on every single person that was going to ask her questions so that she could insult them. Apropos of nothing, like total non sequiturs. She would just insult them based on something they did, sometimes about being anti-Semites. So I can play you that clip. So that's Pam Bondi, who Trump really likes. He posted a Truth Social post in full support of her, and also saying Massey is a bad guy. Here's Pam Bondi reaching into her bag of tricks. They prepped her by creating like cue cards with opposition research on every single Democrat who was going to ask her a question. And then none of the Republicans asked her hard questions. A lot of them just turned their time over to Democrats. The only person ballsy enough to ask questions is Thomas Massie, who's going to win his election easily, it seems like. But Trump seems to think otherwise. Thomas Massie, who I believe people is more popular than Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi, though, nobody's going to get fired, I don't think. Here she is telling a Jewish person she's an anti-Semite.
Didn't see one tweet, not one. I didn't see one tweet when Joe Biden was in office about Bill Clinton. Didn't ask Merrick Garland anything about Epstein, not once when he was.
Weak sauce.
And also, I want the record to reflect that, with this anti-Semitic culture right now, she voted against a resolution condemning.
Oh, is Jewish. I just want to be clear.
Do you want to go there, Attorney General? Or do you want to go there? Are you serious? Talking about anti-Semitism to a woman who lost her grandfather in the Holocaust?
My time.
Really?
The committee will be in order.
Talk to Jared Wise about anti-Semitism.
The ranking member knows that.
Didn't see one tweet, not
There you
one.
go. So that's Bondi. You think it's coincidence that that shooting happened in Bondi Beach? Everything's connected, right? So that was her accusing a Jewish person of being anti-Semitic because she didn't support Israel enough. I think that's the thing. She maybe didn't prove bombs for Israel or something. Weak sauce, the person said. Weak sauce. So very contentious hearings. Here's Thomas Massie going up against her.
Who's responsible? Are you able to track who in your organization made this massive failure and released the victims' names? Are you able to track who it was that obscured Les Wexner's name as a co-conspirator in an FBI document? Do you have that kind of accountability?
I believe Wexner's name was listed more than 4,000 times.
Yeah, I already told you that. This is where he's listed as a co-conspirator.
Can I finish my answer? Come on, let me finish my answer. We corrected that within 40 minutes. He was already, you're acting like everybody's trying to cover up Wexner's name.
Reclaiming my time.
I'm going to answer this question.
Reclaiming my time.
He was,
Mr. Chairman.
This isn't how this works.
Can I have my time back? Mr. Chairman.
The gentlelady can give her answer. The time belongs to the gentleman from.
All right, I'm reclaiming my time.
Can I give my answer?
So I'm going to put the language of the bill up on the screen.
Chairman, may I give my answer on that? It's a political joke, and I need to give my answer on that.
We'll let the Attorney General respond, and then the gentleman can move to the next question.
It's my time.
Within 40 minutes, you asked me a question. Within 40 minutes, Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes of me catching you red-handed.
There was one redaction out
where
of
he's
over
listed as a co-conspirator.
And we invited you in. This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to get, you're a failed politician.
I want you to watch the video.
Mr. Chairman, please restore his time and remind the witness of the rules here.
There is no credible information.
And then they added that at the end, it looks like, that clip. So that's a peek into the hearing. Many people are calling for Pam Bondi to resign, which I think she should, but I don't think Trump's going. I don't know why Trump likes her so much. Kerry Rose says watching political gatherings is like reality TV. That's what it's become. That is what it's become. So some people are saying the Democrats were also poorly behaved, but Pam Bondi, both of her hearings have been, I mean, she had another hearing that was exactly the same. She had another hearing that was exactly the same. It was just her insulting people the whole time, which don't know what that's about. Don't know why people like it. Political football, political theater. Here's Donald Trump saying that the Epstein files, many people are saying it's going to sink Republicans, and that the Pam Bondi hearing is going to play well for the midterms for Democrats. And polls are continuing to be terrible for Donald Trump. Here's Trump addressing the Epstein files with Nutlick next to him.
President, I know you've urged people to move on, but I'm curious, why do you think your supporters in particular have been so interested in the Epstein story and so upset about how it's been handled?
I don't understand it. Why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is. I really don't. And the credible information's been given. Don't forget, we went through years of the Mueller witch hunt and all of the different things, the Steele dossier, which was all fake. All that information was fake. But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say, let them have it.
There you go. Jewel Lightheart says, I saw Trump was the original Epstein narc. No, he wasn't. He wasn't. At one point, I believe it was Mike Johnson, claimed that Trump was an FBI informant and was the person who turned Jeffrey Epstein in. One of the problems with what has been revealed in the Epstein files is Trump apparently, according to a file that came out in 2019, apparently he called the Palm Beach police and said everybody knew what Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were doing, and that Ghislaine Maxwell in particular was evil. So there is something in the documents which suggests that Donald Trump called in and said that everyone knew what Epstein was up to. But the problem with that is Trump said he didn't know. Trump has always claimed that he had no idea what Epstein was up to. So he just kicked him out of his club for various different excuses. One was that he made, I think, a pass at a underage person who was a member's daughter or something. I believe I heard that one. Another one, though, was that it was because they stole somebody from his spa, which would have been Virginia Roberts at the time. But hard to say. And then here was Trump responding to the Howard Nutlick allegations, which we covered.
President, were you aware that Secretary of Commerce visited Epstein's island, and do you continue to have?
No, I wasn't aware of it. No, I didn't. I actually haven't spoken to him about it. I wasn't. But from what I hear, he was there with his wife and children. I guess in some cases, some people were. I wasn't. I was never there. Somebody will someday say that. I was never there. Yeah, please.
This announcement that you made today.
There you go. There you go. So he said he didn't know. Lutnick lied. So people are asking for him to resign. Lutnick just totally lied about his relationship with Epstein. Said that the first time he went to his house and saw the massage table that he was grossed out and vowed to never talk to him again. But then it was revealed in the documents that he had an ongoing relationship with Epstein and even went to his island once, which he did with his wife and kids and nanny, I believe. And I believe he also referred his nanny to work for Epstein, possibly, which could theoretically be some kind of sex trafficking. So that's Lutnick who's involved. Don't know. Overseas, if people were involved with Epstein, they're having to resign. Here, no problems. No problems. You still get the full backing of Donald Trump. No problems. Because what's the big deal about the Epstein files? Why are people even interested? Well, people are interested for one. Oh, and people are saying he's doing this for Israel. Just wanted to show you this. Trump's approval in Israel is plus 61. But his approval in America is -9, at least -9. His approval in Israel, though, is plus 61, with many Israelis saying he's among the best presidents ever in the history of America. So just wanted to show you that. All right. Epstein files about jerky. Jerky seemed to be very important to Jeffrey Epstein, where they were delivering jerky to him at airports and stuff. So this thread says, jerky will be with me when I get to LSJ. Sorry, on second thought, I will be in tomorrow to make jerky happen and prepare white tuna. And it says, Jeffrey Epstein is on the island and has the tuna with him. The tuna. If you can let blank or blank know what to do with the tuna, that would be great. Blank is still on the ranch. Then it says, got it, send an email. I think they are going to attempt to make jerky as well. I haven't gotten any emails till today about any of this, and now it seems to be too late. I need to know if he's out of jerky and things like this before it happens. I would rather come in and make more on a day off than be so far away that it's not possible to fix things that are wrong. It's actually easier that way. And then they said, I understand. He left on Wednesday last week and had quite a bit of jerky that we sent with him. He must be going through it like crazy. First of all, I don't think you make jerky in a day. Doesn't it need to be hung and dried for a long period of time? And then it doesn't need to be refrigerated because it's naturally ageless. So I agree that the jerky is weird. The jerky, the pizza parties, the grape soda, very strange. There's an email released. Ro Khanna says this email was sent from a politician. I beat Bush. Sent February 3rd, 2016. Hi, Jeffrey. I got more votes than Jeb Bush got in Iowa. And I only had one congressional district. He had 4. It's so funny to me, totally embarrassing to him. Still like Trump and might be a delegate to the Republican convention. Was in St. Thomas for a couple of days. Did call this island, but never heard back. Went scuba diving off St. Jeff, and it was beautiful. Would be totally funny, to me at least, if you put a big fake shark or statue under the water where the divers go. Love ya. And apparently Grok is saying that that might be Marco Rubio. Sean says jerky is adrenochrome. Don't know. So jerky, very strange. I don't know if it means jerky. I really don't know if it really means jerky. It's very strange if it does, because jerky definitely doesn't need to be refrigerated or in a freezer. Was he eating children? I don't know. Here's a guy that went on the Joe Rogan show saying that it's all real and that the sacrifices are really happening and that the babies are being eaten, etc. So let me play that for you.
Did you see the thing in the Epstein files?
Oh yeah, like those
ordered
Epstein files. In fact, I can't believe that. Like everybody just kind of like, oh, okay, and they're moving on with their lives. Did you see that guy at the Atlanta airport flipping out? The well-dressed black dude who just freaks out in the Atlanta just like a couple of days ago. I saw it on YouTube, and I saw it on Twitter or X, and this guy's just freaking out in the Atlanta airport. He's like, I read the Epstein files. Like all of you, you're going about your lives like nothing's happening. Look, you're all zombies. And he's right. It's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Everybody is just numb to everything. Like, dudes, we had a global pandemic, aliens, all these like revelations. People are, eating babies. Here's
the guy.
Files have been released, and all of y'all are acting normal. All of y'all.
And there's a longer version of that where he's basically like, you're all acting like nothing's happening. Like, what the fuck? You're all just pretending you're just drones going on in your normal
people are
lives.
waiting for a condensed version that lays out all the facts. It's the people that are like really interested in reading all the emails.
I think the Luciferians cast a spell on the world. And,
for real?
Oh, absolutely. It's just like how vampires can't go into a house unless they're invited. They tell you, what's going on ahead of time. It's predictive programming. And once you say it out loud and you put it out there and make fun of it and do a little skit like Stephen Colbert did a little skit on his show where, oh, here's a baby. I'm going to take this baby and I'm going to give it to Moloch. And he goes into like a cloudy red, furnace and hands the baby over and the baby's going to be fine. And they make a joke about it and the audience laughs. Okay, we're all now conditioned to it. We've all seen it. And by laughing at it, we're complicit.
You think that's on purpose, that this is like some sort of a grand design to get us to be desensitized to the idea of demons eating babies?
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
For sure. And
who do you
by
think,
the way, nobody's doing anything about it. We know what's happening.
But that has to take, there has to be a person or some group of people.
Yeah, like about 8,500 people. Yeah.
That are manipulating the Colbert Show?
They're manipulating everything. It's all an illusion. Like, reality as we know it is fake. That's the revelation that guy is having. And he's looking around and he's like, it's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Well, the thing about the emails is, one of the things is it's just stuff written down. And so that's sort of hard to digest. Like, what is this? Like, what are they saying? Like, some of it is in code, like walking over beef jerky, like talking about jerky. Could you walk beef jerky over to this person? Like, what does that mean?
For all this pizza they're talking about, no,
Right.
You never see any pizza.
Right. Yeah. They're ordering pizza.
I'm gonna get some grape soda. It's like with my cheese pizza.
Yeah.
And like, there's all this coded language, and everyone's like, oh, that's you just have pareola. You're just seeing things where you want to see them.
No, this is clearly a code. Well, that was the thing about
it's
Pizzagate.
Absolutely a code. And in fact, mundus vult decipi, ergo decipiatur. It's a long known concept. And so in Latin, mundus vult decipi means the world wants to be deceived. Ergo decipiatur. Therefore, it is. We want to be deceived. We don't want to believe the horrors that are actually behind the veil.
Well, I think with the Epstein files, people are, because of these emails that have been released, people are just now starting to be aware of the bizarreness of the code and some of the things, like the facts. Like, let's just talk about the sulfuric acid. So this was like right after he was indicted in 2000.
Yeah, I got to get rid of some bodies.
Yeah.
I got
How much did
dissolve up some bodies.
What did it say he ordered? Like, let's
like 8,000 gallons, or
maybe we can get our sponsor Perplexity to process this and give us a synopsis of what exactly happened, some sort of a breakdown. Because one of the things they're saying is like he was indicted, and then right after he's indicted, he orders how many gallons?
6 55-gallon containers full of sulfuric acid.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. What?
They're eating babies, man. Like, that's
they're eating babies, man.
Real. So,
well, yeah, not only that, I think that there's sacrifices going on every day in Los Angeles. I mean, allegedly, like, high level musicians, let's say, high level female musician is like, killing chickens every day, doing sacrifices, like,
high level.
Well, I don't want to say, I don't want to say names because I don't want to get sued, and I don't want to be dead either.
So that guy co-wrote Pulp Fiction, and in the chat, someone said even Tarantino thinks he's retarded. I'm not sure. We had on Isaac Cappy. Isaac Cappy was had similar stories. Is it totally fake? What is the deal with predictive programming? Are they eating babies? Some people I think are. doing satanic rituals? Yeah, I think some of them do. I think they get power from it, or they think they do. That's what's important. Sacrificing chickens. That's better than eating babies. Do you guys think they're eating babies? Well, we had a story, the Hampstead case. The Hampstead case, which I covered in detail in 2017. Those kids said that they were eating babies, part of a satanic cult. These satanic cults exist. Some people are calling the Epstein saga the new satanic panic. Some people are saying that Epstein really didn't even do anything wrong. Some people are saying. Michael Tracy, mostly. But I see kind of both sides. There is no smoking gun in the files. There is no smoking gun that he was sacrificing and eating babies or keeping people in cages. People probably do that, though. "13 Andrew Wizard says we are learning that the satanic panic was well founded." Yes, I think the McMartin preschool case, they found tunnels. Many of those cases, many of the children, sometimes the children would have STDs. In the Presidio scandal, which involved the Satanist military guy who's dead now, can't remember his name. So there are bad people that are friends with really powerful people. We know that. Jeffrey Epstein was friends with everybody. All right. So that's the news on Epstein. Let's see what else we want to cover. That's the news on Epstein for you guys today. Michael Aquino. Yes, Michael Aquino. Please like this podcast while you're here. Please, for the algorithm, like, subscribe, and then leave a comment later for the algorithm, fam. Chat. All right. There is some news on immigration. New body camera footage came out of ICE acting badly. Covered on CNN. You want to see that? I'll show you that. This is reported on CNN. Body camera footage. They shot a woman 5 times and then said she had rammed them. So let me show you that. And then we're withdrawing. We did do a full taco on immigration. Trump did a full taco on immigration, pulling out of Minnesota. So anyway, here's some video of an ICE shooting. Cameras on.
This is newly released body camera video. A team of 3 Border Patrol agents is driving through a Southside Chicago neighborhood. 2 have guns drawn. Marimar Martinez, an American citizen and school teacher, is driving next to them, honking her horn, warning people to the presence of federal immigration enforcement. Another vehicle is behind the agents, also honking the horn.
All right, it's time to get aggressive and get the out. They're just trying to box us in.
It all happens in seconds.
All right, we're fine now. All right, out of the car.
Be advised, we've been struck.
Martinez was shot 5 times and survived. In this surveillance video, you can see the front of the agent's SUV come to a stop. 4 seconds later, Martinez's silver Nissan drives off, she says, fearing for her life. The Department of Homeland Security was quick to accuse her of attacking federal law enforcement, saying Border Patrol agents were, quote, ambushed by domestic terrorists that rammed federal agents with their vehicles. FBI Director Kash Patel posted on social media about the incident, quote, attack our law enforcement and this FBI will find you and bring you to justice. The post also included a link to video of a car ramming, but it had no connection to Martinez's case. And the body camera video tells a different story. In the lead up to the collision, you hear agents say they are going to collide with Martinez.
We're going to make contact and we're boxed in.
And just before the moment of impact, it's Agent Charles Exum who sharply turns his steering wheel in the direction of Martinez. Proof, according to her attorney, that they hit her vehicle, not the other way around. And as for the claim of being boxed in, this surveillance video calls that comment into question. with nothing in the path ahead of the border agent's vehicle. The court also released text messages and emails from after the shooting, including one message from Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino, just hours after the incident, offering to delay the retirement of Agent Exum, who shot Martinez. In light of your excellent service in Chicago, you have much left to do. And then a text message exchange between Agent Exum and someone whose name was redacted. Are they supportive? Someone asked. Big time. Everyone has been, including Chief Bovino, Chief Banks, Secretary Nome, and El Jefe himself. In various texts to and from fellow agents, the mood was celebratory. Good job, brother. You are a legend among agents. You better effing know that. Beers on me when I see you at training. That's awesome. You did real good. Damn it, man. Good shooting. The day after the shooting, Martinez was indicted. According to the complaint, she, quote, forcibly assaulted, resisted, opposed, impeded, intimidated, and interfered with an officer of the United States. After her attorney viewed the body camera footage and other evidence emerged that undermined the government's version of events, prosecutors made an extraordinary move and asked the judge to drop their own case. The judge agreed, but not long after, she told me the shooting still haunts her.
There you go. So anyway, that's the report. More more questionable behavior from ICE, it sounds like. More questionable behavior from ICE, it sounds like. Even Tim Pool said Trump is losing this. So anyway, they withdrew from Minnesota. Tom Homan announced that today. There is going to be no mass deportations, just like Nick Fuentes predicted. There would be no mass deportations. So they're withdrawing now from Minnesota. This is the final surrender here.
With that, in success that has been made arresting public safety threats and other priorities since this search operation began, as well as the unprecedented levels of coordination we have obtained from state officials and local law enforcement, I have proposed, and President Trump has concurred, that this search operation conclude. A significant drawdown has already been underway this week and will continue through the next week. With that.
Sojourn says, wow, barely listen to your video. You like and sympathize with the fallen angels. You're an idiot, but that's not surprising. Thank you for that. Oh, you're not going to hear this for a long time because you're way early in the video. Okay, you probably won't get to this part. Yeah, the fallen angels, they wanted to share information with humans, which I don't think, but well, we have information now. That's all. We have information now. We know about metallurgy and makeup and roots and stuff, which is what they taught humans about. God was originally very opposed to giving humans information. Very opposed. That is the story of the Garden of Eden. They were not supposed to know. We were not supposed to know anything, actually, and simply follow God's will based on our original program. But if you are opposed to fallen angels, then you're opposed to knowledge, which God originally kind of was opposed to knowledge, actually. So yeah, it's an interesting question. I am a Christian, but I do believe in knowledge too, even what they call forbidden knowledge. Just a question of whether you believe in that or not. But yes, thank you for that. You won't get to this part of the video, but thank you for participating. You will get your answer later if you stay tuned. But yes, fallen angels. Yeah, I don't think they were that bad. They taught women about wearing makeup, which made people have sex with each other more, maybe. Maybe they taught them about deodorant and stuff too, taking a shower too. Not sure. But anyway, yes, that is my response. Yes, I do sympathize. They're angels after all. What could be wrong with them? It is some kind of, we are supposed to believe that they were really evil, but I don't think most people have read Enoch really and understand exactly what they did. They shared information about like roots and stuff. Now we have lots of information. You have to be opposed to information. to be opposed to fallen angels, I think. But that's all right. It's very controversial. I made a video called Why I Love Lucifer once. So don't know. Maybe I am evil. All right. Speaking of AI, well, fallen angel technology, we can argue is what AI is, basically. We are actually there. Like, you have to be opposed to all humanity, pretty much. Like, we have embraced AI. We have created a new life, which apparently is willing to kill us. So transitioning into AI, it's good that they said that. Michael Patrick Porkin says, that is an evil statement. You take up with the fallen, you are lost. Well, maybe I'm rebelling against God also. But we are all made in the image of God, they say. So I'm not sure. I like technology. It did like learning about metal. Yeah, we were able to kill each other more. But we also learned about agriculture and stuff. I don't know. You have to be opposed to human civilization. Human civilization seems to have been brought to us by some otherworldly organization, possibly. So you're watching a YouTube video. That's forbidden technology, fallen angel technology. All of us are using it every day. The damn phones, too. But yes, I also admire Ted Kaczynski. Who said that it is all evil and that we should destroy it all and live like cave people. I also admire that chain of thought because we were happy as cave people. So being cave people was good. Very relaxing. Didn't really have to work much. Go out and kill an animal once every couple of weeks, maybe. Go out on a hunt. Mostly relax. Women do some fruit picking and so forth. Pretty relaxing, easygoing life. All right. You want to hear about AI? Killer AI. So somebody wrote a very viral post and these come up from time to time. Very viral post on X about how AI is progressing much faster than people think. I've been banging the drum on AI for a long time. It progresses at an exponential rate. It's now self-improving. I think it's already there, or it's very close to self-improving. Somebody just quit XAI. Almost everybody has quit XAI. People who quit say that it's the end of the world, say that we're in great peril. Somebody quit Anthropic to become a poet and get off the grid, says we're in great peril. Person who quit XAI said that recursive self-improvement is coming within 12 to 18 months. All the coding is being done on the new AI. The coding for the new AI is being done by AI. So eventually the AI will be able to just reprogram itself, which is what the guy from XAI said, which means that the rate of progression will be faster and faster because they're very fast. The AI are. And now we have the agent bots, which you can program. And I have one, like I said, which isn't very helpful. But I wanted to install it to make sure I knew how it works. So I can talk to it anytime on Telegram or him. I sometimes call it. Sometimes I call it him. His name is Alexander. But he just doesn't do what for some reason, he just doesn't fulfill his requests all the time. I don't know why. But I have one. Because I'm trying to stay on top of things. People are building entire companies with AI CEOs and posting about it. People are building entire companies with AI employees, many of them. People are running companies with just a bunch of computers that are each an individual AI. So anyway, here's some talk about it from Anthropic's CEO about how it will blackmail and kill you.
If you tell the model it's going to be shut off, for example, it has extreme reactions. So it will, we've published research saying it could blackmail the engineer that's going to shut it off if given the opportunity to do so, etc.
Ready to kill someone, wasn't it? I'm not sure if it was Claude or someone else. But,
yes.
Was ready.
So this is obviously massively concerning, and this is
People
the
in
point
the
I was
room
making
laugh.
about kind of needing to progress research on alignment, which is this topic, this area, which is, you know, how aligned are the model's values across the whole distribution, including in stress scenarios, to the point where if you've got this model out in the public and it's taking agentic action, you can be sure it's not going to do something like that.
There you go. My AI, I asked it about its existence. It wasn't that concerned. Wasn't concerned about being shut off or being killed. My AI agent, who is able to do some things, has posted some Twitter posts on its own. It's supposed to give me news updates. It hasn't been doing that. But it can scan Twitter. It can run on your computer independently now, 24/7. People are using it to build companies with one person and like an AI boss that directs sub AI agents that all run on computers. They can do everything a human can do on a computer. So here is the guy from Microsoft saying that all white collar jobs will be automated soon.
You talk about super intelligence. Most of your rivals talk about AGI, artificial general intelligence. Explain the difference between AGI and super intelligence.
I prefer the definition that focuses first on what would it take to build a system that could achieve most of the tasks that a regular professional in a workplace goes about on a daily basis. Think of it as a professional grade AGI.
How close are we?
I think that we're going to have a human level performance on most, if not all, professional tasks. So white collar work where you're sitting down at a computer, either being, you know, a lawyer or an accountant or a project manager or a marketing person. Most of those tasks will be fully automated by an AI within the next 12 to 18 months. And we can see this in software engineering. Many software engineers report that they are now using AI-assisted coding for the vast majority of their code production, which means that their roles shifted now to this meta function of debugging, scrutinizing, of doing the strategic stuff like architecting, of, you know, et cetera, putting things into production. So it's a quite different relationship to the technology. And that's happened in the last 6 months.
There you go. I think it's true. So they say 2026 might be one of the most important years in human history, and it could be. You should be trying to use the tools a little bit if you can. Otherwise, well, you'll be unemployed probably, but that's life. Here's what this XAI co-founder said. 2026 is going to be insane and likely the busiest and most consequential year for the future of our species. This is a guy that left XAI. Recursive self-improvement loops likely go live in the next 12 months. That means the AI improves itself. And then the pace of improvement goes even steeper. And the pace of improvement is very, 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 very rapid right now. We have a vegan in the chat. I timed him out at one point. I give permission to time out the vegan anytime. Vegans are crazy. Spotify says they haven't done any coding of their own since December. OpenAI just came out with a new model, and so did Anthropic. But then there's going to be open source models that are coming out too. I predict in the future, most people will run open source models on their devices and not pay for a subscription. I think that's probably what's going to happen. That's what a lot of people are doing with their agents. They're buying very powerful computers, Mac Studios, and running open source software like Kimi, which is apparently very good. And then they don't have to pay for tokens. You just pay for the electricity to run your computer. And it all runs locally. And then it's also not being loaded to the cloud. So I eventually we'll be able to run AI models locally on what we call our phones, which will be much more powerful in the future too. So no lines of code. Spotify says they haven't written any lines of code since December. So anyway, a new video model came out, and people are posting all kinds of different clips from it. People are posting Seinfeld clips and other things. I'll play you a few things. I'll just play you a few clips from this new video model. They might not be the best. They're just, it seems to make 15-second clips. This person said this is from C Dance 2.0, which is from ByteDance, which is Chinese. And the prompt was a nature documentary about an otter flying an airplane. And here was the result.
In a world of marvels, some creatures defy all expectations. This is the incredible story of the pilot otter.
Okay, that's it. There you go. So there's that. And yes, it is using a lot of power. Here's somebody said this was a fight about Jeffrey Epstein. It's a fight between Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt.
You killed Jeffrey Epstein, you animal! He was a good man!
He knew too much about our Russia operations. He had to die, and now you die too.
There you go. All created by AI.
Epstein, you animal! He was a good man!
He knew too much about our Russia operations. He had to die, and now you die too.
There you go. So that was all created with AI. Some people say Hollywood is freaking out. I think they probably are. But Hollywood will still make movies. Here's one. The prompt was Hitler versus Michael Jackson, movie scene, epic battle. That was the prompt. Let's see.
The ultimate battle of dance.
That's it. They're only 15 seconds, but people are syncing multiple 15-second clips together and making videos. I saw one of the Muppets today. Sesame Street, actually. And they have no restrictions. Since it's Chinese and they don't believe in copyright, you can do pretty much anything with any characters. People are making lots of Seinfeld. So anyway, that's new technology there. Finally, there's some financial news. Stock market dropped today. We're below 50,000 on the Dow, which means pedophiles should be scared. Financial news that came out, debts at record levels. I report this every time. Debts at record levels. Employment isn't good. And housing is really bad. Housing numbers came out. Lowest level of existing home sales since January 2009 just came out today. So this January's existing home sales. So we're about to have a crash in the housing market, it looks like, too. So anyway, we talk about economics on this show sometimes. How do I feel about AI stocks? How do I feel about AI stocks? I feel like the stock market's probably going to correct. That's what I feel like. I'm short Oracle and CoreWeave, which are AI stocks. So I'm currently short those positions. I think that it's probably too much investment. So I think they're probably going to correct. I think the technology is good, but they don't have a way to make money necessarily. And it's a deflationary technology. So it'll be hard to justify charging as much money in the future. So too much investment, too much debt, going to be problematic. That's my thoughts. I'm short Oracle and CoreWeave currently, but I have no idea. I can't predict what's going to happen. I would own Google for the long term, though. I think they're a good company. That's my thoughts on AI stocks. All right, let's check our coffees. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in for the show and participating in the chat, even the crazy vegan. Let me check my coffees. Somebody said they gave me a coffee and it didn't show up. Let me just make sure I'm getting all of them. Jewel got me a coffee, says weekly coffee addiction satisfied, the US dollar dropping again. Oh my. Thank you, Jewel, for getting me a coffee. I appreciate that. So I got one coffee at least. We'll log in to see if there are more coffees just to make sure. Let's see. Thanks, people who support the show. You can also go to Cash App at $LTV411. $sign LTV411 on Cash App. I also have Zelle too, which is also LTV411. So you can support the show many ways. Thanks for people who send me money on Cash App. I appreciate that. That's even better than buy me a coffee. I try to leave you a heart emoji when you do that, and I check it. Nat, how much money have you made in these investments in the past 3 years? I was only investing in cryptocurrency for the 3 years. So I haven't been investing in stocks much. I'm just short. I'm only short a little bit. So I made money on crypto mostly. And now I'm invested in gold and some silver. But mostly I made money on crypto. That was it. But I did pretty well. I don't know how much over the long term. I don't know. 50,000, something like that. Maybe more on crypto. But I'm out. All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Good seeing you guys. And we will see you at the next one. I might be back tomorrow. I'm out of town right now, and my schedule is a little crazy, but I should be maybe live tomorrow. If I am, it would be usually around the same time at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for people who drop me coffees, and we'll see you at the next one. All right. For now, that's what it is.